Right. Clause 7.1 Resources. It is one of the shortest clauses in the whole standard, and it is the one that quietly kills more ISMS projects than any other. Stay with me on this one. Here is what it actually says. In plain English, the organization shall determine and provide the resources needed for the establishment, implementation, maintenance, and continual improvement of the information security management system. That is it. That is the clause. You could fit it on a beer mat. Determine and provide, two verbs, both of them load-bearing. Now, most people read that and go, yeah, fine, resources obviously next. And then they scroll on to clause 7.2, competence, and 7.3, awareness, and 7.5, documented information, because those feel like the ones with actual homework attached. Cute, because 7.1 is the clause that decides whether any of the others ever happen. So let me tell you what this looks like in the wild, small software company. 30-odd people, big enterprise deal on the table, and the prospect has asked for ISO 27001, and suddenly it is a board-level priority. Everyone is very excited. There is a kickoff meeting. There might even be a slide deck. And at that meeting, somebody says, right, who is going to own this? And every head in the room turns to Dave. Dave is your senior engineer. Dave is competent. Dave is conscientious. Dave already has a full-time job. Dave does not get a backfill. Dave does not get a budget. Dave gets a job title with the word lead in it, which is corporate for we have given you the responsibility without the resources, and we are hoping you are too polite to mention it. And that is where the clause gets broken. Not in month 6 when the internal audit is late, right there in the kickoff, in the room with the biscuits. Here's the thing. Management said yes. Genuinely, sincerely, yes. They want the certificate. They want the deal. They are not being cynical about it. But saying yes to the certificate and no to the budget is not support. That is a wish. And wishes do not close audit findings, because look at what 7.1 actually asks for. Resources. And resources is not an abstract noun, it is 4 concrete things. People, actual humans with actual names and actual capacity. Not a name in a box on an org chart. Capacity. Time, hours that are ring-fenced and defended. Not the leftover crumbs at the end of a sprint when everything else has already eaten the day money. For the certification body, for the audit days, for the tooling, for the training, for the penetration test, for whatever you discover you need in month 4 that nobody thought of in month 1 and tooling. The stuff that stops your evidence living in one person's head and a folder called Final V3 Actual Final. People, time, money, tooling, that is the whole shopping list. It is not complicated. It is just expensive to be honest about. Sound familiar? Here is the pattern, and I have watched enough versions of it to know the shape. Month 1, tons of energy. Month 2, the policies get drafted, which is the fun bit because writing policies feels like progress. Month 3, Dave has to actually go and get evidence out of other departments, and other departments have their own deadlines, and nobody has told them this is a priority. Month 4, Dave is doing the ISMS at 9:30 at night. Month 5, the whole thing has quietly stalled. Month 6, someone senior asks why we are not certified yet in a tone. And then, and this is my favorite part, everybody is surprised, genuinely surprised, as though you can put a full-time program on top of a full-time job and get 2 full-time outcomes out of one person. That is not a management system. That is a maths error with a certificate attached. Now, an honest caveat, because I'm not going to pretend otherwise. I'm not a certified lead auditor. I cannot tell you how your specific auditor will phrase a finding, and I'm not going to invent a story about one who did. What I can tell you is what the clause says, and what the clause says is, determine and provide, not aspire to provide, not provide if there's anything left in Q4. And here's the other bit, the bit that catches people out. 7.1 is not a one-off. Read the words again. Establishment, implementation, maintenance, and continual improvement. 4 stages. Maintenance and continual improvement are in there. On purpose, resourcing the run-up to the audit, and then pulling the plug the day the certificate lands is not compliance. That is a costume. The surveillance audit comes round, it always comes round, and by then Dave has either left, or he has learned to say no, which honestly is worse for you and much better for Dave. So what is the actual move? Two things, and neither of them is complicated. First, determine. Write it down. Not vibes, numbers. How many days a month does this genuinely need? What is the certification body going to cost? What tooling? What training? Then add a contingency. Because you're going to find something in month 4. You always find something in month 4. Second, provide, which means someone with actual authority signs off on actual money and actual protected hours in writing before you announce the project, not after. Before, and here's your test. Here's the one question that tells you whether 7.1 is real in your organization or decorative. Go and ask your Dave how many hours a week he is meant to be spending on this. Then go and ask his line manager the same question. Separately, do not warn them. If those two numbers do not match, you have not resourced an ISMS. You have delegated a wish. Go and find out this week.